Good morning. It's July 6th. It's a lovely, cool 15 degrees here. So the heat is definitely broken. It's only going to 20 today, in fact. Warms up again in a few days to the high 20s, but not like high 30s like it was there for a few days. I thought today I'd walk up to Mosaic Stadium, home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and the exhibition grounds up there. Haven't been up there for a while. They still say it's going to rain tomorrow now. They're saying showers, but they've been promising showers overnight for the last 2 days, and it hasn't happened yet. So we'll see. Morning. So walking up Angus Crescent here, and of course, what have I got to do? More editing. Actually, yesterday I didn't get much of that done. I was doing publishing related things and applying for a writer in residence position and virtual writer in residence. And this and that. A day went by, and I lost most of the morning because my brother and sister-in-law were in town, and we went out for breakfast with them, a late breakfast. That kind of ate up the morning, so today should get lots more actual editing, writing done. So I have to get over to Elphinstone, then I go straight north on Elphinstone. It'll take me to the exhibition grounds in Mosaic Stadium. We do have season tickets for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and have for years and years and years. I guess I married into it. My wife's grandparents had tickets starting in the 60s, and those tickets have come down over the years. Not in price, but come down through the generations. Excuse me. They're very good tickets too. On the 50-yard line, remembering of course that the Canadian football field is 55 yards, so 55-yard line is center field. They're on the 50-yard line about 11 rows up from the field, so on the home side. So very good seats. In Taylor Field, they were on the aisle, which the advantage to that was making it easy to get out and go to concessions and that sort of thing. The disadvantage is everybody else getting out and going to concessions climbs over top of you. Now we're in the middle in the new stadium. They mapped them very well from the old stadium to the new stadium when we made the move. So now almost nobody climbs over us, but we have to climb over a lot of people to get out. They start training camp shortly, I believe. Of course, all the health restrictions are lifting on Sunday. It's the end of our health restrictions. We'll see how willing people are to go and pack the stadium, at least for the first couple of games. It'll be interesting. Been a deliberate attempt to terrify everybody, and it's worked well, so we'll see how well people are at unterrifying themselves. If you're there on Facebook or YouTube, say hi. I'm here and walking like I do every day. This is consecutive video number 125, I think. Something like that. A frog in my throat. I like the sidewalks better when they are inside the trees as opposed to right on the curb. Makes for a nicer walk. Oh, unstable internet connection. I would expect that here particularly. What can you do? Of course, I walked through all of Cathedral just last week. This neighborhood between College and Teen. I think I covered it all. Maybe one street. It looks familiar. That would be why. These gardens starting to look really good. Across 15th, take another turn to the left towards Elphinstone. Nobody said hi, so I guess all by myself this morning for the moment. They've painted the garage for that apartment building, which is kind of nice. Apparently they are painting the entire tunnel under the Albert Street Bridge that I walk through regularly. And I'd commented 2 weeks ago that one end of it was painted, and I wondered if, and this last week, I wondered if it was all going to be painted in, because it was blocked off, and that is indeed what's happening. Both ends, the whole thing is going to be painted by local artists in an attempt to keep the graffiti vandals out of there. I will not call them graffiti artists. See if they have any respect for other people's artwork. They may or may not. We'll find out. Usually, there's a new house going up over there. Usually, you don't very often see graffiti on a proper mural. I'll take the alley just to be different. Don't have anything to say. Just walking along. I don't know if the drive-through vaccination clinic is still going at the exhibition grounds. I suspect it's not, but I don't know that for sure. Last I heard, we were at over 70% partially vaccinated and over 40% fully vaccinated in the province. Turrets, I like turrets, or a turret. I usually walk the other way along the street past the children's art on the fence. If you're on the fence about art, here's some art that's literally on the fence. There we go. Very colorful. And this is Elphinstone here. So we're close to Connaught School. School's out now, of course. Connaught will be just across the street, which I'll cross because there's a... Nah, I'll go this way because I don't think I walk down this side as often. Anyway, that's Connaught School over there. Brand new school. You replaced an old one that had some serious structural and mold problems, actually. Yes, I see that. Coming through, she says. The original school was built about 1914, I think. Now they have this brand new one. Here's 13th. Only about 12 minutes from home to here. That's the Connaught Library. The entrance is facing 13th. That's a new building over there. What it replaced is no loss. Slate Fine Art Gallery is in that building. And Happy High here is a coffee shop. We were convinced it was going to be a marijuana store with that name, but no, it's a coffee shop. Also has a mural on the side. Next up is Victoria Avenue. So it's going to be about a 20-minute walk to Mosaic Stadium. 25 maybe. Yeah, it should be more like 20. 22, something like that. We usually drive though, especially if it's dark and cold, which it is often towards the end of the season. Although if Grey Cup had happened here like it was supposed to in 2000, we definitely would have walked. Still nobody saying hi on here this morning. Everybody's asleep or at work. I walked down Victoria here, both directions more than once. This time we'll go on up. Oh, there's a branch on my sidewalk up here. That's not supposed to be there. snapped off right up there for some reason. On our street there was 3 street lights that were out, and I kept waiting for somebody to fix them, and they never did. So I finally reported them, and now they've been fixed. So I guess everybody was just waiting for somebody else to report them. It's the Dairy Queen, and then there's Mosaic Stadium over there. Most of it's below grade, so it's a bigger stadium than it looks from out here. 20 or, I don't know, 25 rows maybe or more are actually below ground level. It's certainly not as, while it's not wind free, it certainly is not as windy as Taylor Field was notorious for being, which is all above ground level and open at both ends. I don't have a walk light, but I'm going to walk because I know that it just turned green. Need some firearm training. There's your number. I've walked around Taylor Field, Mosaic Stadium, a couple of times. I'm going to go on down by the armory this time. I haven't walked quite that far before. And I walked around by, that's the Lawson Aquatic Center. It's also a gym. So, biggest city pool I think is that one. So that's where swim teams practice and that sort of thing. And the stadium over here. The old stadium was over there, which is now just basically a vacant lot for the time being until it's redeveloped. I think the practice field is still over there, possibly. Possibly not. Hello, Terry. Mosaic Stadium. This is a busy road. Lots of people looking. I'm going to walk over closer to the stadium. It's all empty now, but it won't be for much longer. So again, that's the Lawson over there. But I'm going to walk all the way up by the armory this time, closer to the hospital, and I'll come back this way on the other side of the stadium, or somewhere, I don't really know, we'll see. So that's kind of the gym end, and then the pool is under the sloped roof down at this end. And that's the armory straight ahead, where the cadets hang out, and the Saskatchewan Military Museum is in there as well. The Rider Store, main branch, for all your Saskatchewan Roughrider memorabilia. There are smaller rider stores around the town. And again, that's the pool is under that part of the Lawson over there. This is also the exhibition ground, so Regina exhibition happens here, and it's happening this year in some form. So the midway is usually sort of right where I'm pointing, and then on back that way. Okay, we'll go a little further down here than I've gone before, Past the Armory. 10th Field Regiment. Join the guns, on time, on target. Regina's regiment since 1905, now hiring Regina Rifle, Royal Regina Rifle. Access interdit. Few guns. Howitzer, I would think that is. Behind the fence. There's parking on this side, usually only used at exhibition time. Here's the armory and the sort of traditional Regina look, brick and Tyndallstone. There we go. We'll stop in front and give a good look. So that's the armory. Could be my thumbnail this week. And the Saskatchewan Military Museum is in here as well. I'm not going to walk as far as Dudney. I'll turn down this next street. Pretty sure the wheelchair ramp is not original to the building. They just didn't worry about that sort of thing when they built these places. So 9th Avenue here. All of it. Takes you down behind the Pasqua Hospital and by the various exhibition buildings. There used to be a horse racing track up here and grandstands and all of that, but that's long gone. When I first moved here, it was still here. Harness racing, just the side of the armory. You can see the stadium from this direction. Something being built. I don't know what. I should put up signs to say this is what we're building. It would help me so much. It's like a storage room building of some sort of like this, but I don't know. It's for the armory. Seems to be in their compound, so I would presume it's connected to the armory. Communications tower. Don't think it's a cell phone tower though, so not getting my signal from there, I wouldn't think. That's the Pasqua Hospital up there with the H on the side. I'll walk up there and see if they're doing, so this is all exhibition grounds here. The midway, part of the midway would be in here. Usually the kiddie part is here. And the grown-up part stretches down past the orange building there. Bunch of really rinks is mainly what's in here. But they're also used for other things. Hi, Kirk in Vancouver. Down at the fairgrounds today, the exhibition grounds, there's Mosaic Stadium. Good view from this angle. Various rinks, although during exhibition they're just big open spaces used for exhibits. I've also been to special dinners and things in here, so it's used for a lot of things. I'd love to walk down here, but there's no sidewalk. Still, I'll take my chances. It's not exactly a high traffic area. Coming up on the backside of the, oh, there's a fire station over there too. Up on the backside of Pasqua Hospital. Once upon a time, this was Grey Nuns Hospital. My mom, I remember being in the hospital at Grey Nuns not long after we moved up here. It's been extensively remodeled since then, since that would have been late 60s. I think I was still quite little. Not the most exciting wall on this side. Scenic tour of Regina. Now, I'll soon know if they're doing a drive-through or not, because just around the corner here is where you went into the drive-through. There's a car up there, and where I would expect to be the lineup of the drive-through, so I think maybe they are. I've had tests in this hospital. I've never been a patient, I don't think. Maybe I was. Maybe once or twice, maybe once. I guess I do have some memory of being in here as a patient. Nothing serious, obviously, because here I am. The general is very close, much closer to us. Yeah, the drive-through, when it was really going, it's like a Disneyland. So I was lined up for 5 hours when I had my shot at the drive-through up here. Now, I'll have to go back out again, so I won't walk very far down here, but you go into that opening there, and that takes you to the drive-through vaccine. But right now is the time to come, obviously, compared to when I came. On the other hand, I've been fully vaccinated now for quite some time. Coming up on a month, I think, since I got my second shot. Maybe a month this Thursday? That sounds about right. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to head back the way I came, so we'll just do that. No point fighting it. Then I'll walk down through the fairgrounds more. I wasn't even sure they were still doing the drive-through since the initial surge is over. But they are. I don't know if they're getting more first or second shots now. Yeah, that was a long day waiting in that line for the drive-through, because it starts on the other side, and I sat there for a good half an hour, and then started to move, and I think, oh, we're moving, but it was another, I think we were there for like an hour or more, and then it was another like 3 hours. I finally got my shot. Maybe it was more like 4.5 hours. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It's a long time anyway. Sorry. I do have a frog in my throat. I haven't even seen a frog in years. Oh, somebody else is there. Hi, Colleen. Yes, it was very much that Disneyland approach where everything doubles back on itself, so you're moving and you always think you must be just about there. Then you went around a corner and there was another long line. That was kind of what the drive-through vaccine clinic was like. My second shot, I had an appointment, and that was much. It's the Cooperator Center. So I'm going in for probably skating, figure skating. Our daughter has one of those little wheeled carrying things. And when she was skating, and she used it for dance as well, very useful. Oh, Mosaic Stadium again. Yeah, see, there's another one over there with one of those wheeled. You see them a lot around the skaters. Dancers tend to just take bags, in my experience. Skaters tend to have the wheeled carts. I don't know why. I'm sure some dancers use them, but I associate them with the figure skaters. This is the Affinity Plex. I've been in there for a couple of big dinners, the Premier's dinners, when my wife was on the executive of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan. They'd have a table, as they did at all the political parties there. Keep on good terms with all of them. I think that's the 2 times I was in there for a dinner. Were both Premier's dinners with Brad Wall. Okay, coming down the other side of Mosaic Stadium here. I do a live streamed walk. You know, like 12 people watch it, but it still keeps me motivated to keep exercising. Confederation Park handily has the date on it, 1927. The fountain is still not running down here. Brant Center over there is where the Regina Pats play, Western Hockey League. And I've seen many concerts in there, and things like Cirque du Soleil I've seen in there at least 3 times, I think. We saw them once under the tent in Quebec City, which was cool. So that's a nice fountain, but it doesn't always run. It's got water in it, so it has been running, but it's not running right now. I'll go a little further this way instead of heading straight back. Although, time-wise, it's about time I headed back. But I've already come back some, so. Queensbury Centre, another place I've been to lots of dinners and events. In fact, that's where my daughter's high school graduation was. Dinner was up there. You go up that, there's an escalator and stairs there, takes you up. I'll just go around the corner to show you what else is here before I go back. Today is the day for what? Come on, tell me what today's the day, Sastel. Bells are ringing. Regina Hotel, always accommodating. I don't know what today's the day for. Brand Center. Excellent parking lot for bringing your daughter to practice driving in. I speak from personal experience. terrible parking lot trying to get out of sometimes after events, like football games. Terrible parking lot to spend an hour or two in while you wait to start moving at the drive-through vaccine clinic. But again, definitely not a problem today. Not the most exciting bit of video, I know. So if we just go around the corner here, that'll kind of cover off most of the exhibition grounds, convention center. This is where the midway, the grown-up midway, is set up, is in this parking lot during the exhibition. So yeah, when I was here for the drive-through, I was out in this parking lot lined up waiting to go for a very long time, and then took a very long time to get around to where the actual vaccination was happening. So there's other buildings, Agribition building. Agribition is, as you might guess, an agricultural exhibition. Don't know how they managed to come up with that name. And then if we just go around one more corner before I head back, see the where the vaccine appointments are. This is where I went for my second shot, and it's also where Sask Expo, where I usually have a book table and sell, $1,000 worth of books over 2 days, happens, and has not happened now for a very long time. I just hope it comes back. There we go. International Trade Center is where I got my second shot, and that's where Sask Expo is held. That's a fairly new building. Sask Expo used to be held in the lower building further on there, but Sask Milk Hall, that pretty much covers that. I don't know what they're building over there. That's the first I've noticed it. Looks like a fast food place or something. And you can see Pemmican Pete up there on his buffalo. He's kind of the mascot of Buffalo Days and the Regina exhibition. He's been there forever. We could probably use a touch of paint again, but I don't know what that is over there that they're building. Okay, well, let's head back. Back home again on Angus Crescent. This the best scenery or what? So this is a pylon farm. Most people think they're manufactured, but they're actually grown in these little planters here. They're just these little orange shoots to begin with, and then eventually they grow up, and then when they blossom, they get that reflective flower around the top. Little known fact. But I used to be a science columnist, so you can trust me. Looks like a pretty good crop. Thins out in this direction. The heat may have done in a few of the pylon flowers, I'm not sure. Not sure when they harvest them. These ones look about ripe. Well, now I have a new song in my head since I started singing a little bit of Back Home in Indiana. Back home again in Indiana. Why do I know that song at all? Because Jim Neighbors used to sing it every year as part of the opening ceremonies of the Indianapolis 500, which for many years I watched religiously. Kind of sad that I somehow got out of the habit. I used to watch as much auto racing as I could. Used to even get up sometimes to watch Formula One live from Europe, but not for years now. Don't know the drivers hardly at all anymore. Got to go to one IndyCar race live, Toronto Indy in 1992, I think that was. So Alan Sir Jr. was still driving, and Mario Andretti was across. You saw AJ Foyt. He wasn't driving, but he had cars in the race, and we were right across from the pit stop, so the pits. So we saw all these guys. That was a thrill for me. And now the guys I think of as the young drivers are old. And the ones that were the old drivers are dead, so time wounds all heals. Well, I think that's about as much parking lot in Pylon Farm as I want to show you. We come back, we'll go by Mosaic Stadium here again. I didn't really walk around the main entrance this time, but I can show you inside from this end. That thing in front of us is the Jumbotron, the Sastel Jumbotron, giant TV. It's always a little weird, you know, back when I started going to football games, you didn't get to see replays on a screen and had to just watch the game. Now I sometimes think people watch the TV as much as they watch what's happening on the field, especially when it's like down at the goal line and you can't really see what's going on. You tend to watch the TV because it gives you a better angle. Maybe I will walk around the front just because I didn't on the way here. So there's a, I don't remember what they call it, fan lounge, I guess, back here with tables and concessions. Many people spend quite a bit of the game in here, it seems like. Oh, there I am. If you get up close, you should be able to see through the glass. There we go. I know, not very exciting. That's what it looks like. Maybe if I try again here, let's see how you can. If you look, the focus is there, so you can see there's windows on the other side, and you can see the field out that way. Watch where I'm walking. I could easily walk right into that because I'm looking up instead of where I'm going. Oh, people lined up for tickets, I guess. No, there's a camera there. They're shooting something, I don't know what. Maybe those were lights. Okay, sounds like they're planning to somehow do something, project a Sastel logo on the side. I don't know what that was all about. It's interesting. So one of the gates Into the stadium. Can take a look through here. You can see the Saskatchewan Jumbotron at the end there. See if I can get the gap just right. There we go. There's the Rider store behind that glass. Currently still closed to the public. Let's see if we can see inside there. Not quite. I can't get it flat enough to the glass to keep from it staying out of focus. Business office is in there somewhere as well. You can maybe see some of the merchandise. There we go. So we're back on this side of the armory again. Here's the main entrance. As much as there is a main entrance. Depends on where your tickets are, whether you think of this as the main entrance or not, I guess. Let's see if we can get another view. Sort of from over here, maybe? Or here. So our seats are over on that side, down quite a ways from the concession stands there, just 11 up from the field. All right, home now. Back down Elphinstone. Nice cool breeze, which you can probably hear. Elevator lobby 3, that's for people who can't manage stairs very well. I haven't been to a concert in here yet. There's been a couple big ones. I know who was here. Bryan Adams was here. Who else was here? Others. Top people. Biggest one I saw at Taylor Field was Paul McCartney. The Rolling Stones came to town, 2 shows, and I was in Vancouver. So my wife got to go see the Rolling Stones, but not me. Many years ago now, when they were only ancient as opposed to whatever they are now. Ancient. They were probably my age when they were here. The age I am now, I don't feel ancient. So there's downtown over there. I don't have to wait for the red light, unless there's a train. Then I'd wait. But there is no train at the moment. I have been here. I think the last time I walked down here I had to wait for a train. which made for interesting video, but east is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet, unless there's another twain on the same twack. I think that's an Elmer Fudd joke, if I remember right. Okay, well, here we go again, down the other way. This time maybe I'll actually get a crosswalk light if I press it now. There we go. Good timing. Alice had a birthday party in the basement of that Dairy Queen once, and I think she went to somebody else's birthday party there as well. They have a party room in the basement. A rather depressing space, really, if you're grown up, but as long as there's cake and ice cream and presents, kids don't care. Yeah, used to have to figure out where we were going for. She used to have a kid birthday and a grown-up birthday. Grown-up birthday was we would invite all of our friends and go to a nice restaurant. Kid birthday was when she got to do the kiddie stuff, like, oh, she had one at the Science Center, which was great, maybe a couple at the Science Center, at the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. Chuck E. Cheese was popular for a while, but now she's 20 and all she gets is grown-up birthdays. Or she can do whatever she wants. Oh, this branch is still down. Nobody's cleared it up in the last half hour. Funny that. Guess I'm going to cross this way again. Oh, perfect timing again. I'll cross to the other side though, since I walked down this side on my way here. Looking down at Victoria. Yeah, it's all downhill from here. Or at least once you get across 13th, it's all downhill. I usually zigzag, but I think I'll just walk straight down Elphinstone because I haven't done that very often. Is that? Oh, Brandon. Hi, Brandon. This is Regina's best area. Well, if you're a football fan, it certainly is. Easy walking distance to the game. Never have to park. One of our long straight sidewalks disappearing to the vanishing point. How long have I been out? Well, I have dragged this one out a little longer than I expected. It'll be a bit more than an hour. Not a lot more though. About 10 minutes from here on home if I go straight there. I didn't catch this light very well. So there's Connaught School again over there, the new one. And the Connaught Library, which I've been in many times for events. My wife and I even hosted a wine tasting there once. A library sanctioned wine tasting in the basement, which was kind of fun. Clearly we had a permit, or the library got a permit. It's a nice old building. Small, but attractive. I haven't been in that building in the new Connaught School. I just keep walking by it. I don't know where I'll walk tomorrow. It's always a challenge. I do repeat myself. I can't help but repeat myself, but I try not to do the repeats too close together. And of course, it looks different every time, depending on the weather and exactly which way you go, how the flowers are coming along, and they're coming along very nicely on many houses. 14th Avenue. Into school zone, so I can pick up the pace now to more than 30 kilometers an hour. I do like the cooler weather today after some of the hot walks I did. Especially that one when I was wandering out in the weeds alongside the ring road on Saturday. With the sun beating down. Why there's an item of clothing lying on the ground there. That kind of thing always puzzles me. It's usually a shoe, one lone shoe. Did somebody throw it out of a car window or what happened? Always a mystery. I didn't time this one very well. Probably go behind him though since nobody's coming. That was 15th. Back when I was jogging in the fall, I'd come around this corner and I really appreciated this stretch because it's quite noticeably downhill. Everything smells fresh today too. We didn't get any rain, but it almost, I guess it's just the cooler weather. We are supposed to get some rain, but they've been saying that overnight, rain overnight for the last 3 nights, and nothing has happened yet. We need rain to rejuvenate the mosquito population. The poor things are drying out. Well, let's take an alley for a change. So we're parallel to College Avenue, which is to my right. I think I'll stick to the alley. Won't walk down them nearly as often as I do the streets. Blue bins for recycling, brown bins for garbage, in case you're wondering. Mysterious person walking toward me. What's he doing in the alley? People who walk in alleys are suspicious. Oh wait, I'm one of them. Well, I'm pretty suspicious. I'm carrying a camera. Didn't get barked at by a dog though. That's what usually happens in the alleys. They really don't like it when you walk by their back gate and they're in the yard. Well, this connects to Leopold Crescent now. So there's the park and the creek directly ahead. This is actually a new house, but it very much fits in with the older style. I really like this one. Watched it being built. One or two of the ultra-modern ones are really nice, but the whole neighborhood of them would be less interesting. We'll go down here, just because we can. Very downhill now, as you can see. I was actually one street too soon. That wasn't the one that connects to Leopold. It's the next one over here to my left. There's Leopold Crescent. They are doing a pilot project here in Regina with sort of the food waste container as well, by biological waste, I guess, which is a green bin, but it's only in some areas. It's still just being tested out. This is a nice neighborhood, no question. I'm glad I live in it. Kind of just happened. You don't see very many purple houses, but there's one. So now we're on Leopold Crescent. I used to live 2 blocks that way on Garnet Street in a very small rented house. I'll take the alley again. This will connect us with Angus Crescent, my crescent. Not my personal crescent. Other people live there too. Quite a few. Modern garage. It seems to belong to this older house here, which is interesting. I haven't been in this house. My wife has on one of the Davin School home tours. This is one of her favorite ones around here, but I wasn't in it. So now we're on Angus Crescent, our crescent, and half a block and I'll be done. Half a crescent really, not a block. This house up here with the pillars on the porch, as I mentioned before, was where Tommy Douglas lived. He was premier. You can see I've been in this one. See the municipal heritage plaque in front of it. Lived there from 1944 to 1961. And if you're Canadian, you know who Tommy Douglas is. Father of Medicare. Met him in person once in Weyburn, which is where he started as a Baptist preacher, and he'd come back while I was down there and visited his old Baptist church, and I took a picture of him opening the door. Then I think I drove out to, where would that have been? Some small town, and he gave a speech, which I covered. Been in that house. That's a really cool house. It looks small from the front, but it's actually very big and very open. This is our corner coming up, so I will be stopping as soon as I get to the intersection up here. So how long did I end up walking? 1:06. Yeah, a little longer than some, but in the general ballpark of these things. So I will stop up here, and thanks for walking with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.